It's the chase! It's the chase!
All right, Knoxville, the chase is on here on a Thursday afternoon, coming to you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. Ethan Stone of Saturday Down South in studio with us from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios right here on Fox Sports Knoxville. Fan Run Sports Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. Download it today if you've not already done so. You can also watch us. We're streaming all day long, 1 to 3 on the Fan Run Sports YouTube channel, almost at a 1,500 subs here. So we're building that up. So if you want to watch us on the video front, you can do so there. You can also watch us on X, Facebook, and whole kinds of other different ways you can be a part of the program. You can also call and or text us at 865-966-3435 is the way to join the program over the next 2 hours. 865-966-3435. We've got a jam-packed show for you guys today. We got Aaron Murray, former Georgia quarterback, ESPN college football analyst, coming on here at 1:15 to talk about the Bulldogs and what he saw from Nico last year and a little Tennessee and SEC as a whole. So excited to talk to Aaron here at 1:15. We're going to talk about Jordan Ross and his potential breakout season here with Tennessee. We'll talk buy or sell for a couple different Tennessee football and basketball conversations. We'll check in with G6 Garrett on Hawaii with the Rainbow Warriors going into this upcoming season and where Timmy Chang and the Warriors might be as we continue on our G5 preview series. We'll also talk about a college football red zone. Is that something on the horizon in a matter of months, years? Could it happen sooner rather than later with the gradual changes and all that good stuff? So is that where things go? We'll also do our player review series. Ethan Stone, resident college basketball analyst from SaturdayDownSouth.com, will get his insight after doing Igor Milicic Jr. last week. We'll talk about Darlinson Dubar and what his final season looked like for the orange and white, and where did he grow? Where did it not work out in some ways? Favorite D-Stone game this season, and that good stuff. And then we'll wrap up with better equipped for an SEC bounce-back season in hoops, Texas or Oklahoma going into next year, who both did not have great SEC seasons their first year in the conference in the hoops side of things. And then if Tennessee could makes the trip to Ireland for a week 0 game in the next couple of years, if they add the SEC into that, who is the dream SEC opponent, which does not count as a conference game? Who would ball fans want to play the most to get them to go overseas and watch that game in Ireland? So jam-packed show for you guys today. Thank you for joining us right here on The Chase. Ethan Stone, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I tell you what, I walked out this morning, let my dog do his business. The first thing I noticed was, wow, it genuinely feels like football weather outside. Like, I think I might have even said that last week because it was kind of starting to get there. I think we're officially here. Like, I've never felt this good in August before. It's feeling fantastic.
Well, you're in like football weather. You're over there you're in the country. You're over there in Maryville, Alcoa, Heritage Country, yeah. Ethan Stone, and that it's a little bit different. You're mountain football country, and I imagine those Saturday mornings hit a little bit different on that side of town.
Yeah, I'd say so. That probably has something to do with it. It's nice seeing the mountains as well, living over there, and you get some nice weather as well too. So
absolutely. Well, thank you for being here as always on Thursdays, Ethan Stone, and we've also got intern Jay King back. Jay, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I had a big day yesterday. I was actually at the zoo before the show that day, and then I ended up going to the Smokies game right after. So.
How was the zoo?
It was a lot of fun. I got to see my favorite part. I saw the chimps.
Okay.
One of the chimps actually like went up to me, like in the enclosure. Like,
I
was sitting there. He actually got a photo like right next to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they have names?
I didn't see any.
No names. Okay. I haven't been to the Knoxville Zoo. Have you, Garrett Armbrust, also here?
I've not. Yeah. I've heard it's underrated though, so I might have to make an appearance.
I haven't been to a zoo in a long time.
Zoos are honestly kind of cool.
Okay.
I think I could be in on a zoo. I got to probably be in like the right mood.
Yeah.
But what to the San Diego Zoo in high school.
Okay.
That's like
elite.
It's like one of the worst. I mean, one of the best zoos in like the country.
Elite.
Yeah.
Elite. Zoo
I think that one and Cincinnati are like the top 2 in the nation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Been to Atlanta Zoo, obviously. many times over there in Grant Park, the home
The
area.
aquarium in Atlanta is where it's at.
The aquarium, you know what's
The
funny?
Chattanooga Aquarium is also great too.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, the Atlanta aquarium is just bonkers, but I don't know if you're like me, Garrett, but I went early on, like right when it first opened. I've never been back, but it was it was a big time deal when we went back, but I've just never had a reason to.
So you went there early before that whole area kind of, I mean, there's a lot down there now.
Yeah.
You get the Coca-Cola Museum, Hall of Fame, like.
Yeah,
pretty
before
cool
all
down
that,
there,
really.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the Coke Museum?
Yeah, I think we
Coca-Cola
did that.
Museum?
Yeah. That's part of a staple. Like if you're from Atlanta or you
Yeah,
you
got to test all the soft drinks in there.
Yeah, there's certain things we have to hit, and those field trips, those class field trips. They want us to go. There's certain landmarks we have to hit.
They got the Olympic rings down there too.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool part of town. I mean, it's like walking distance to the Benz from there.
I can't believe it opened 20 years ago. On November 23rd, the Georgia Aquarium opened.
Yeah,
I didn't realize I was that young. I mean, I was a freshman in high school, I guess, when it did. Yeah, so I guess I haven't been back since high school.
Since like elementary school. So
goodness gracious,
yeah.
I did not realize Georgia Aquarium's already been around for 20 years. Chattanooga's been around a long way. I went to Chattanooga Aquarium when I was a kid, early 90s.
Too.
Yeah, we're pro zoo, pro aquarium right here on the Chase on this fine Thursday afternoon. Tennessee fall camp, nothing today. They have the off day. They'll be back tomorrow, and then the first fall scrimmage that we're all going to be very excited to hear reports out of here in Knoxville and Josh Heupel's year 5 team Saturday. So we'll see if it's a separation Saturday for the quarterbacks, for the running backs, for center, for some corner and secondary depth. Is it at safety? Does Idris Farouk, does Caleb Beasley make a move there? There's all kinds of interesting storylines going on that front. So excited to see what happens over the weekend in that regard. But Ethan, who are you most intrigued to hear about coming out of this first scrimmage? Who are you locked in on?
Yeah, I have to sound like a broken record at this point, but I'm going to keep going with the wide receivers. Just and not actually, I'm going to tweak that a bit. Not just the wide receivers, just the passing game in general. What is that looking like during the first scrimmage? What is that looking like? Who are the dynamics? Who's developing well? Who's getting good chemistry with whoever is throwing the best? Be it Merklinger or be it Aguilar. We've already talked about Chase. The wide receiver room right now is already having some injury problems with Rezell sitting out a little bit. Mike Matthews now sitting out a little bit in practice preseason. So I feel like now more than ever, it's an important time to kind of start hitting down like who's going to be catching the football this season, who's going to be taking some pressure off Aguilar and Merklinger when they're under center.
Yeah, you want it to start figuring this stuff out because you want chemistry. Like you want reps with the ones, but it seems like Brazel's probably not playing on Saturday. I think I saw a report that Staley might not be doing the scrimmage. So it's like 2 of your 3 projected starters at wide receiver aren't going to play in this first scrimmage potentially. Like, all right, well, what can you really glean from it? And how do you really separate as a quarterback when you're working with true freshmen and guys who aren't projected to start? So it's kind of a disadvantage for Joey and Jake, who need all the reps of the ones as they can possibly get, but the ones aren't available. So it just, I mean, you still got 23 days to get everybody healthy and start getting some reps together. But man, time is dwindling. Ethan Stone, time is dwindling on that front.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll add Jack Van Dorsler and Jason Brame as well because we've been getting some good buzz out of them out of camp. And if just like we said, we got 3 wide receivers. I'm not going to say down, but having injury issues right now. So if they're stepping up, if they're doing well, that's obviously a good sign moving into the first week of the season.
For sure. And we'll see who ends up I think for me, one of the things I'm looking at is Caleb Beasley, Idris Farouk. I want to see if one of those guys really stand out and start making some plays at that safety spot opposite of Turrentine. I'm really curious what of the young linebackers break out. I want to hear about Perlotti. I want to hear about Harmon, maybe even Jordan Burns. Is Jordan Burns better and really fills out that 2 deep for Burns, Spillman, T-Lander, and Carter? Is Burns that guy? That would be great for Tennessee. And the number 1 to me is Jordan Ross. If Jordan Ross is wrecking havoc as a Leo coming in there and just making life hard for Bennett Warren or Jesse Perry or David Sanders, whoever it is off the edge, that's something I'm filing away. Where Tennessee, yes, Joshua Josephs, I'm excited about, but I still to see it to believe it in terms of the sack numbers for Joshua Josephs. If he ends up becoming that high sack number guy that Tennessee was missing last year, because Pierce ultimately good year, but not as elite as he was in 23. Jordan Ross has the frame, the look, the 5-star pedigree that, yeah, Caleb Herring, number 1 player in Tennessee in his class. But again, it's not the same upside. And I just think Jordan Ross, if he has a good first scrimmage or a good fall camp here, that's a very sneaky, important development to me, because I think he has got the highest upside of anyone in that room. And this year 2 was when James Pierce made a move, and he didn't end up starting. And that's what I think a lot of people are going to look at, is like his best season. He wasn't starting for Tennessee. He was coming in behind Byron Young and then coming in behind Roman Harrison. So it wasn't like he had to get a whole bunch of snaps to make a big impact. It's just Jordan Ross being a 3rd down pass rush specialist this year would actually be a big time welcome addition for Tennessee, because I think they need one of those guys to pop and need one of those guys who's just a freak off the edge. And I feel like Ross fits that degree more than anybody else.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with you on Ross, and kind of in a similar vein, who Rodney Garner called the MVP of the defensive line, Dominic Bailey.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see all the stuff coming out about him, about how he's, according to Garner, been the MVP of the start of practice, and, see what kind of step he can take as well, on top of what you just said about Ross and the rest of the potential that's in that room.
No, 100%. And of course, there's just no way around it. I mean, obviously, we want to know if a quarterback separates. Like, I think I'm most curious if Jake airs it out and pushes things aggressively. Like, that is something I want to hear, is does Jake take the safe approach and kind of be the opposite of Aguilar? Because Aguilar is going to take chances. And I just think the way that he separates himself is in scrimmages. Like, the way for Aguilar to break through is just you put 11 on 11, and the experience and the crazy number of snap counts just comes out. He just balls because it's out of structure. It's not clean. It doesn't look like a traditional high ball offense, but he's throwing the ball around and he's keeping it out of harm's way, but he's taking downfield chances and is aggressive. Halsley had a way of describing it where, it's like that intentional aggressiveness, but it's aggressive, not reckless, is I think the way he put it. Jake's going to have to do that too. Like, Jake, I think, has to be not afraid to let it rip. And if he's going to beat Aguilar in this quarterback competition, the way to do that is he's going to have to take chances over the next 24 days and show that he is both capable and aggressive enough to take those deep shots that Aguilar is going to take. And if it's only Aguilar and Jake is kind of a check down guy and not doing that kind of stuff and not doing the big time gamer stuff, I think it's going to be hard for him to win this job in fall camp. But if he plays above his age here on Saturday and beyond, that's how he really has a realistic shot. He's going to have to be aggressive.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that he has to have some sort of edge, because, Chase, to your point, I feel like while it's true that there is a legitimate quarterback competition going on right now and that Merklinger has his hat in the ring in the same way and respect that Aguilar does, I mean, we got to look at the facts here. Aguilar's older. He has the experience at the Division I level. And by all intents, I just, I've said it all offseason, I feel like he kind of fits the offense a little better. So it makes me wonder, like, how much of the job does he already have locked down? Like, if Merklinger comes out and, like you say, just kind of goes through the motions and doesn't do that thing that can really catch the coach's eyes or catch someone's eyes and say, look, this guy's got something to him. It feels like, despite the fact that there is indeed a competition, Aguilar has to have the edge right now just because of that experience.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll talk to former Georgia quarterback, ESPN college football analyst Aaron Murray. So stick with us. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
Only 3 homestands remaining to see your Knoxville Smokies play this season. And this week will be full of celebrations, starting with free hot dog night on Tuesday. All the hot dogs you can eat all night long. And if you're still hungry, we've got all you can eat Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers. Then on Friday, we honor one of the founding members of the Negro Southern League, the Knoxville Giants. On Saturday, we're continuing the fight against breast cancer by painting the park pink. And on Sunday is Cocoa Melon Day. Grab your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the Volunteer State. Smoked daily by pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance, Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
And here we go. It's William Pattison, and this is your daily invite to Overtime on Fan Run Radio. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm breaking down everything you care about, from the latest Tennessee Volunteers news to bold takes on college football, the NFL, and NBA. If it's happening in the world of sports, I've got an angle on it. You bring the passion, and I'll deliver the truth, the fire, and the facts. It's Overtime with William Pattison, weeknights at 7, only on Fan Run Radio.
Citizens National Bank.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the CNB Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at CNB has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
We're back here on The Chase, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run radio app. On the line right now, former University of Georgia quarterback, ESPN college football analyst, podcast co-host. He's all over the place. Old friend Aaron Murray is on the line. Aaron, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Oh, man, doing good. Right around the corner is football, so it's funny. It's been a busy week of jumping on calls throughout the country, so I kind of know when football's right around the corner when my calendar starts to get booked up, which is great. I love talking ball, and obviously really excited for another year as we get ready to go in 3 weeks from now.
It's going to be here before you know it, and we're both excited. But I'm also very curious, Aaron. Are you bullish on the Bulldogs? Some people have them as number one preseason AP top 25. Brett McMurphy, Yvonne 3, put Georgia at number 1. Are you that bullish that they could be the best team in college football this year, or are you still very much wait and see with this offense?
I'm a wait and see a little bit with not just the offense. I think the entire football team. I think there's a lot of question marks on both sides of the football. I mean, you look at Georgia a year ago; they had the second most guys drafted into the NFL. I mean, that's a stacked football team on both sides of the football. And you lost a lot of production on the defense side of the football. I mean, Malachi Starks is one of my favorite Bulldog players over the past few years, and what he was able to do at the safety position, at the nickel position. Dan Jackson, everything that he meant to that football team. Ever since that first national championship, Jalen, Munden. I mean, the list goes on and on of playmakers at all three levels that Georgia will be out without, on the defense side. And, listen, Kirby is a defensive coach, and that's his bread and butter. That's going to be his side of the football, and they're going to get things done. But, I mean, how good and how deep is going to be the question. They're young, so there's going to be some mistakes on that side of the football. So how that side really takes shape as the season gets going. But I'm excited about the offense. I really am. I know there's questions about what Gunnar Stockton's going to look like as a full-time starter, but going back and watching the tape from a year ago, I'm impressed, from the games he came in backup duty to the Texas game to the game he played against Notre Dame. I thought he has a lot of really good tools that you need to be successful in the country. And then you look around the guys that he has to throw the football to. And that, to me, that was the biggest issue a year ago. It wasn't Carson Beck. I think it was obviously an inability to catch the ball at times, led the country in drops. I thought the running game was inconsistent. And then, Carson had some moments where he tried to be Superman, force balls, and had the turnovers, but the guys around the quarterback have to be better. So I love what Kirby did this offseason, going into the portal. I think he hit some home runs at the receiving spot. I think the tight end should be better. Now it's up to the offensive line and the running game to kind of take their game up a notch and Georgia be back to what they believe they are, and that's running back you. It starts with being really dominant at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Aaron, this is Ethan Stone here. I want to pick your brain a little bit. You mentioned kind of the newcomers for Gunner. I'm wondering, who do you think will have the biggest impact on him and just on the Bulldogs office in general between, Branch and Thomas and who else?
Yeah, I think they really want to find ways to get Zachariah to Branch the football, and it's not just the offense, but what he did special teams at USC was tremendous, and it's such an electric player over the middle of the field. But when you line up and you got Zachariah Branch in the slot, you got Noah on the outside, you got Colby Young as well. Let's not forget that Colby will be back on the team as well. I mean, 2 6'5" guys on the outside, and then it's so funny. We talk about all these transfers, and we talk about Colby being back. Dylan Bell, what he's done for Georgia over the past couple of years, and how they're able to move him around, move him to the running back spot, get him touches out of the backfield, throw him a couple of swing routes, move him to the outside, move him to the slot. I mean, he's really such a Swiss Army knife as an athlete. So Bobo now has the opportunity to kind of move him around and force defenses to know, hey, where's Dylan Bell? Where's Zachariah? And then, oh man, we got 2 6'5" guys on the outside that can win some 50-50 balls as well. And then, like I said during the first part of this conversation, I think Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky at the tight end positions as well, 2 guys that can win some one-on-one battles at the tight end spot. So the skill position looks really good. There's no doubt about it. Like if I'm Gunner Stockton, I'm looking at all the matchups that can win one-on-ones. There's plenty of them. They just got to obviously go out there and make the catches. But back to your question, I am excited. I know the production maybe wasn't there consistently at USC. Maybe the numbers don't necessarily warrant the excitement and the type of player that he is. But I do believe Zachariah Branch is a difference maker and should be heading into the season.
Aaron, you only get one of these 3 that you are most confident is going to happen this year for Georgia. The running backs, the offensive line, or the receivers make a huge leap from what you saw last year with this Bulldogs group.
Well, I mean, the receiving bar was set so low. I mean, what was it, 37 drops a year ago? 38
led the country,
somewhere
yeah.
on there? Yeah, led the country in drops. So, I mean, hey, can we just get it to the 20s? That's a massive, massive improvement. I will say the receiving position. And Georgia really has lacked explosiveness in that spot. I know Ladd was really tremendous, and obviously Brock was kind of that hybrid guy that can, play receiver, play tight end, but he's a tight end. That's what he's looked at the depth chart. But before that, it's like when has Georgia been dominant at the receiving position? And you had a guy like George Pickens, but between suspension and injury, never really I felt like got the full use of George Pickens during his time in Athens. You look at the best teams in the country over the past 6 years, at least the offenses. What have they had? They've had dominant receiving play. You think of Ohio State. You think of Alabama when they had their run of great receivers. You think of LSU. I mean, these teams were dominant on the outside. And, obviously Georgia and Michigan won it a little bit differently. Great defenses and offenses that were good, but I wouldn't say maybe as explosive as the LSU, Alabamas, and the Ohio States of the world. So, I think Georgia now has that chance to maybe not be as good. I'm not going to say that they're LSU good or they're Ohio State good or Alabama good at the receiving position in years past, but just they're more. They should be more consistent. They should have the ability to create some more explosive plays down the field, and with the defense that they're going to have, if you're able to do that, this is a team that can win a lot of football games.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for coming on. This is Garrett. Obviously being a QB guy yourself, I kind of just want to pick your brain on who you may see as a QB that not enough people are talking about going into the season in the SEC. Obviously, you have a guy like Taylon Green, who's an elite dual-threat quarterback. They went out and got him a lot of pieces in the wide receiver room. Obviously, they returned Braylon Russell, and then Mateer, the Wazoo transfer, and then Jaden Ott coming into that backfield. Just who do you see as a quarterback that the nation might not have their eye on right now in the SEC, but really could make a positive impact for their team?
Yeah, I think there's a couple that jump out to me. I mean, obviously the SEC has a ton of good quarterbacks heading into this year. I really love the depth, but two guys that aren't getting a lot of talk of is one, Ole Miss and Austin Simmons. Sitting down, I had an opportunity to cover a couple of games last year and talking with Lane and just how excited he was about his size, his ability to throw the football. I mean, how smart he is. I mean, the kid graduated high school like, I don't know, he was super young. So just really intelligent. And obviously you put a guy like that has the tools in Lane Kiffin's offense, it should spark some pretty good numbers. And, they're not going to be as good maybe around him as they were a year ago, but still going to be a very talented offense. And I think he's a very, very good quarterback with one of the best play callers in America. And you think back to that game against Georgia last year, how impressive it was to come in as a backup quarterback, your quarterback and Jackson Dart goes down and he drives Ole Miss down for a touchdown. I mean, that changed the whole game. I mean, that could have been a 3-and-out. That could have been a turnover. Georgia could have, had short field position. They could have, capitalized some way or the other. Instead, it's backup quarterback goes down the field and puts 7 on that defense. I mean, that was humongous in that victory for Ole Miss against the Dogs a year ago. So I think Austin Simmons is a great talent, should have a good year. Another guy that I'm excited to see is Jackson Arnold at Auburn. You go back and watch his tape at Oklahoma, especially early on. I saw a lot of good stuff, man. I mean, you talk about a 5-star quarterback, has the arm, has a lot of great intangibles when it comes to playing the quarterback position, and was just put in a really bad spot of a terrible offensive line, working with his third-string receiving core, just was not set up to have success. So you look at what he has at Auburn, with Hugh Freeze as the head coach, pseudo OC, again, Singleton and Coleman and everything they have from a skill position standpoint. I think the offensive line should be good. So I think now he's in a spot where he's going to have playmakers around him, going to have better protection, and you should see a guy that hopefully gains confidence and should really shine this season.
Aaron, on the Tennessee front, you did a lot of early season film study on Nico and what you saw the first couple of weeks, and then obviously got pretty dicey towards the middle of the season, but he seemed like he did turn the corner from the second half of the Alabama game on. What did you see from Nico as a whole last season at Tennessee? And had he been back for year 3 in the system, did you anticipate a breakout type, potentially final year for Nico?
I mean, I saw a guy that was going through the first year struggles in a very good conference. There was a lot of good stuff. And I'll say this about Tennessee a year ago too, for how good the receiving core was and the excitement heading into the season. I think that position also underperformed. And I'm not trying to defend Nico here by any means, but I think as a whole, I thought everyone was not as good as anticipated. But I did see just say, like I talked about Jackson Arnold, I saw a lot of good stuff from Nico early. So you saw the potential, you saw the playmaking ability, you saw the anticipation, the arm strength, all that. And there's a lot of plays, obviously, that are left on the field, especially some deep throws where you're like, man, like you got to start hitting those. But I think overall, I would say it was a good season. It was definitely a roller coaster for him, where it was high to low to kind of a gradual towards the end there a little bit when it came to making plays and being consistent. But you remember, second year in the system, first year as a true starter. It's kind of like I remember for me, I redshirted my first year, played my second year, played well, but really it was that second year playing. So third year in the system, second year playing, where I saw a huge jump in confidence and understanding the offense, going out there making plays. Obviously, my stats jumped up. I went from 24, 25 touchdowns to 35 touchdowns. So, that was the big moment. Year 3 in the system, year 2 playing is when you really see a big jump from the quarterback spot. So, obviously, very disappointed as a football fan to see what unfolded there in Knoxville with Nico, and him not getting an opportunity to go out there in that offense, because I do think it would have been a really good year for him.
Hey, Aaron, just looking at Georgia's schedule this year, what do you think is the biggest trap game for them?
Woo! I mean, it's a doozy. Luckily, those big time games are in Athens against Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss. I think that game at Auburn can be tricky. You talk about where are you at? Because September 27th they play Alabama. At home they Kentucky, and then in between that is at Auburn before you play Ole Miss. So I think that's going to be a very interesting game, because I said I think Auburn's offense could be pretty good. And I think this is a big year obviously for that coaching staff to get things done and start winning some big time games against some big time teams. So, and also obviously going to the Plains is always very difficult. So I think that's going to be a great game, and has an opportunity to be a little bit of a trap game. And I think, the game against Florida, I'm a big fan of DJ Lagway. I think he is a tremendous quarterback. Had an opportunity to cover him in his first real big start against Kentucky last year. Sit down and talk with him, get to know him a little bit. And obviously, you see the tools that he has to work for as a quarterback. So I think Florida, if DJ can stay healthy, I think Florida could be a real contender in the SEC this year.
It's Aaron Murray, former Georgia quarterback, SiriusXM, and ESPN college football analyst. Aaron, thank you so much for making the time today. We greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys, and hopefully get on again soon this season.
Absolutely. Aaron Murray, there you have it. One of the best in terms of covering this sport and a great all-time college quarterback over there at Georgia. So I appreciate Aaron making the time to jump on and talk a little Nico too. It kind of makes you feel bad when you hear he was pretty bullish on Nico for one more year in the system. But great stuff from Aaron as a whole. So I appreciate Aaron talking all things Dogs and Tennessee and SEC. So when we come back here, we'll continue on the Tennessee conversation. We'll do a game of buy or sell when it comes to Tennessee sports. So stick with us. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. Also call us at 865-966-3435. 865-966-3435 is the way to be a part of the show today. We'll be back with more The Chase right after this.
You're listening to Fan Run Radio, the sports humans.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
I was afraid to cut the cord, but once I did, I couldn't believe it took so long to do it. Paying too much for my cable bill had become a bad habit. I either wasn't getting what I wanted or never knew where to find any of my favorite shows until it was too late. Plus, the prices just kept going up. Thankfully, I discovered a new way to watch, called Philo. For just $25 a month, I can catch all my favorite shows on networks like BET, MTV, and TLC. It even has Nickelodeon for my kids. I can watch anytime I want, anywhere I want. Plus, Philo lets me have up to 3 streams at once, so everyone can watch what they want at the same time. Throw in the unlimited DVR that saves all my favorites for up to a year, and this really is the best deal in TV. I just wish I hadn't waited so long. Sound too good to be true? Well, try it out for yourself, and you'll see why people who love TV love Philo. Go to philo.tv, that's philo.tv, and start your 7-day free trial now.
It's the Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. You can join the conversation today. Call Texas 865-966-3435 is the way to do so. Ethan Stone of SaturdayDownSouth.com is in studio with us. Make sure you check out all the great coverage over there at SaturdayDownSouth.com today, including Ethan, as he'll have a whole bunch of stuff coming up here this upcoming football season and also basketball season. So speaking of football and basketball here, as we wrap up hour number one right here on the Chase, buy or sell. I thought this would be a fun game in terms if these three things happening. And if you're buying or selling, we're going to go around the studio. So Garrett and Jay, stay on your toes here. I'm going to be coming to you after this. Buy or sell. Tennessee is tied with Georgia in the fourth quarter inside Neyland Stadium in week 3 this year. Are you buying or selling that, Ethan Stone?
I am slightly, not a lot, slightly buying that. Very, very slightly buying.
Interesting.
And the reason I say that slightly is because when I originally saw this question, my initial thought was no, I'm selling that because there's just too many question marks. I really like Georgia's offense. Aaron Murray just broke it down. They got a lot of pieces. I think Gunnar Stockton's going to be fine. I think the offensive line is going to be fine. The run game is going to be interesting, right? See if Kirby Smart can kind of reel that back in. But ultimately, I think this is still going to be a pretty good Georgia team. The reason I think that Tennessee could have a bit of a shot here is because of when this game is. Just because it's the first time Georgia's going to be going on the road this season. It's the first time Stockton is going to be going on the road this season, and that has to mean something. I mean, this is going to be his first, obviously he played in some pretty big moments last season as well, but this is going to be his first time, his first road test as the Bulldogs starter this year. I think Neyland's going to be popping. I think just in general, the vibe around Tennessee, they're very likely to be 2-0. Both of these teams are very likely to be 2-0. I think the timing, it would make a lot of sense for Georgia to kind of get, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I'm not necessarily saying that I think Tennessee would win this game, but as far as them being tied in the fourth quarter, it being a good game, I could absolutely see it. I'd see it more than, say, Alabama, for example.
Interesting. Around the room right now, how many second half points has Tennessee scored against Georgia the last 2 games? Off top of your head, what would y'all guess?
Last two.
I'm gonna say 7. I think they scored like 1 touchdown.
Okay. I
think he's right.
Okay. You have 7?
10.
It was a garbage time touchdown, right?
It's all 0. It's 0.
Wow.
No points.
No points in the second half.
No points.
23 or 24. I felt differently. I don't know if y'all did about 24 in a lot of ways, because I think Tennessee really, especially going into the half, they kept
it close.
Yeah. And they still didn't score in the second half. And it was one of those where Tennessee did not score a second half point in that game. 38-10. They were outscored 14-0 and 23 in the second half, and Georgia really pulled off the brakes after just really dismantling Tennessee after that first Jalen Wright touchdown run. And then last year in 24, they had 14 points in the second half, and Tennessee had 0. So
in 22, we only scored 3?
Yeah, I think it was 3. We kicked field goal, I think. Yeah. It was, it's not been great. The second half has not been kind to Tennessee. First quarter, though, if y'all remember, after the first quarter of 2021, Tennessee had the lead.
They did.
They did not win.
They did not win that game. They did not win that game. So are you buying or selling that? With all that being said, Jay King?
I could buy it.
Okay.
And again,
I love this optimism. I didn't think we would get this many buys on this question.
Again, like what Ethan said, it's the home opener. And I mean, this is the home game of the season.
Over Oklahoma?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the game to go to this season. So I think the crowd is going to be extra loud this game. And I'm not saying they're going to win, obviously. I can't say that they're going to beat Georgia just because of the track record versus them. But
this is a check or kneeling game, right? It's already been announced?
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Or it's either check or Neyland or no, it's not the blackout game. It's check.
No.
Yeah, to be honest, that makes me feel worse.
The check or kneeling part of it?
that makes me feel just
Florida last year
a tiny bit worse.
And it was in the video game. It's a check or Neyland.
I think it's a burn. I wouldn't have used it here. I would have used it a game where I know we're going to win. I would have done Arkansas, maybe as a little bit extra juice in that game. Or Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma is
the blackout game.
I hope they don't do that for Oklahoma.
The day after
Halloween weekend.
I don't love that, though. Blackout for Oklahoma? No, I want traditional. I want orange.
Versus Oklahoma?
Yeah, I want orange.
No. You do traditional versus the traditional rivals.
I just think it looks good. Like Oklahoma's got nice clean maroon. Tennessee's got the nice clean orange. I don't know. I don't love that, but I also just think it's gonna be most animated because there's just so much juice to that story and the Heupel history there. And I mean, y'all remember how loud it got for Baker and company when
Oklahoma scored that touchdown in the first quarter. That was
I think it's going to be
Rocky Top ever.
And you might see that again if John Mateer and company are really good this year and Oklahoma's having a breakout year.
Game.
Yeah, Georgia. I've been in the building both Georgia Kirby Smart versus Heupel games. Let me tell you, second half is it's tough hang.
But first half though.
First quarter.
Yeah, first quarter. It's a completely different story.
Sun starts going down, it gets a little bit colder, and we're all looking at each other. We're like, how long are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
How long are we gonna make it through this game? But yeah, I don't know. I think the early part of it is definitely a nice wrinkle, but I don't know.
I just have no idea how to because Georgia, you can say they do start season slow. Like the year they won the Natty, Kent State was on them for almost the whole game. 2023, South Carolina was up in, I don't know, the third quarter or something. Spencer Rattler was playing pretty well.
Yeah, in the rain, the monsoon in Athens. Yeah.
And then obviously last year they had that ugly game against Kentucky that they definitely should have lost. And I mean, they blew the lead against Alabama, but then at the same time, the first game of the season, they ranked Clemson out of Mercedes-Benz. So it's you just don't know what you're going to get early in the season. If we get week 1 Georgia last year, yeah, we're going to lose. But if we get the way they played in the Kentucky game, then yeah, I could buy that it's close in the fourth quarter. It just depends on what you get and what Stockton looks like.
I think if say Tennessee was playing Georgia in week 10, you give Gunnar Stockton 10 weeks to gel within the system. Whereas, he hasn't played in, however long it's been, and he has to go to Neyland Stadium. That's a tough place to play.
SEC road game.
Exactly.
The only games he started have been the SEC championship. Those were both in domes. And Neyland's, many people say, we're biased, but a lot of people say it's the hardest place to play in the SEC.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm selling it. It's still a TBD. I need to see it. I want to see a second half resurgence from Tennessee in this game. I need to see it. We're just not there. The next buy or sell. Nate Ament is the best freshman in all of college basketball next season. Ethan Stone.
I'm confident in this, and it's going to sound bad. I love Nate Ament. I think he's going to be a special player at Tennessee. I'm selling this all day
Interesting.
long. All day long, I'm selling this. And that it has less to do with Nate Ament and more to do just with the sheer awesome class that is around him. Darren Peterson at Kansas is a very, very intriguing guard prospect. I've seen people compare him to 18-year-old Kobe, and I don't think that's the craziest comparison. He can shoot. He's not the most uber athletic guy in the world, but he's got the whole package. Similarly, AJ DeBansa at BYU, going to be really good. And that's not even mentioning Duke's entire roster, their host of five-star freshmen, including, of course, Cam Boozer, who had fantastic games at U19 and everywhere he's played so far. I think the three of them are really, really special. I think they're all potential number 1 picks in the NBA draft next year. And for what it's worth, I don't think Nate Ament is far behind him. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. I think his shooting is going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's going to do a lot of good things for Barnes, do exactly what Barnes was kind of moving mountains to get him to get here to do. But there's just this class is just too good for me to buy the idea that a Mint can beat out all of them. Now, do I think he can be top 5? Absolutely. I'd buy that all day. I'm not sure I'll buy that he will definitively be the number 1 freshman in the country, though.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
At the very slightly selling. Just because, again, he could be a top 3 freshman in the country, maybe top 2. But again, there's too many talented freshmen, like what Ethan just said. Too many talented freshmen to know that he is the one. Like you can't just say he's going to be the one. You know what I mean?
What about you, Garrett?
Yeah, I'm probably going to sell it. I think AJ DeBansta might be. I think he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Like, I think he's that special of a prospect. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I know BYU's roster for next season that well, but it seems like he's going to be the guy on the court that you get him the ball and get out of the way. Whereas I feel like here, Ament's going to be, Gillespie's going to be getting a lot of shots. He's going to be getting a lot of shots. Like, there's just going to be, I think AJ will have more opportunity to have the ball in his hands.
This BYU is just weird, right? Like they lost a lot. I don't know how good of a team this is going to be compared to last year. He's going to have a huge opportunity there in the Big 12. Good coaching, NBA coaching there. Peterson, to me, is the one I'm selling more. It's just Kansas is quietly not. They're kind of in a funk, and Bill Self had another health issue this offseason, and it's just there was a lot wrong with Kansas last year. And I don't know. If Darren Peterson was somewhere else, and it's crazy to say this when it comes to Kansas basketball, but they've got to prove it kind of. And also offensively, there's just always been those weird struggles with Bill Self teams where, I don't know, they leave a little bit something to be desired on that side of things, kind of in the Rick Barnes territory where you're like, you would wish the offense was a little less clunky and all that. I kind of need to see it with Peterson and company in Kansas to kind of get back on track. I think Nate meant and how Barnes is, I mean, you have the Julian Phillips of the world, but Kennedy Chandler was one of the best freshmen in college basketball his one season with Tennessee. So there is a track record for it. And obviously his time with Kevin Durant with Texas, but Cameron Boozer is a sell to me. I don't think Duke's got too many other guys where I don't think Cameron Boozer is going to have to be the one end all be all for Duke to be one of the best teams in college basketball. I think the dark horse to me would probably be Chris Cenac at Houston, because I think Houston's going to be the best team in college basketball this year. So if Cenac is a plug and play guy from Link Academy, remember Tennessee was in on Cenac for a long time, and that was a big boy battle that Houston ultimately wins here. That to me might be the leader in the clubhouse to me, just because it's upside and just fit, and then what that team's going to be in 2025. And I just think Cenac is going to have every opportunity to be surrounded by elite players where he doesn't have to be thrown as the main guy, but maybe by March, we're like, oh, this is one of the best bigs. He's a top 5, top 7 NBA guy. He's got a bag, this, that, and the other. Like, Cenac to me would be the least surprising of this group. And then maybe the biggest dark horse, Ethan, I don't know if you agree, it's probably Mikael Brown Jr., Louisville, where he's going to have the opportunity. Pat Kelsey loves to shoot. He loves to play offense first. Like, if he carves out a role and he earns his trust there as that league ball handler, league guard for Louisville, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up big time numbers with Pat Kelsey in year 2 with the Cards.
I think that's a good take, just because exactly what you said. I think their offense is going to be a lot of fun. The thing kind of gives me pause about Brown is there's just so many dudes. I mean, from the transfers they got, Wooley's one of them. Can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I do remember that it's very impressive. It's an impressive.
McNeely from
McNeely, exactly.
Yeah, almost be loaded.
Yeah, was almost evolved. They have. I mean, they are tripping over shooting, outside shooting. They're tripping over just scoring in general on offense. So I wonder if he'll kind of get buried a little bit. Another name I'll throw out there that I think hasn't even been mentioned, and it's just another testament to how fantastic this class is Koa Pete over at Arizona. He similarly to DeBanza and everyone else we've mentioned, he played really well at the Nike Hoop Summit. He played well in under 19 ball. He's got a great mid range for someone that is with his skill sets. Kind of reminds me of Boozer actually a little bit. I think they're kind of similar players. And I'd rapid fire here. I'd kind of agree with you on the Boozer take. I think DeBanza has a real chance to be the best one, just because I think you were talking about positions and the situations that they're in. I think DeBanza might be the best of the group. Rob Wright is an excellent point guard coming over from Baylor that's going to be helping out BYU. Got Kebaketa, great rebounder. And obviously Richie Saunders, excellent shooter over there as well. The team is put together exceptionally in a way that I think DeBanza will be able to accentuate his strengths while still kind of moving along with just how good BYU can be and kind of pushing them forward at the same time. So I like their roster. I think DeBanza is going to get a lot of positive upswing from that. And like we've talked about, there's just a lot of good freshmen this year, man. This is an excellent class.
You in on that Caleb Wilson guy at UNC?
UNC just might stink though.
Yeah, but like if he's good, is he going to be like the...
He's definitely another name. I mean, he's definitely another name. I mean,
they bombed with last year with not G.D. Jackson, who was it, the kid who just transferred to St. John's?
Ian Jackson.
Yeah.
And UNC is kind of what you mentioned a little bit, Chase, kind of the Kansas for me. I'm wondering about UNC right now. I'm wondering if they can kind of get back up to being a truly dominant force in college basketball again. And for what it's worth, I'd agree with you as well that Kansas. I think Peterson might be one of the more talented freshmen, but I don't love the situation he's in. Kind of like what you said, Chase.
Yeah, I just can't. I never thought we'd be saying this about Kansas, but they're still a wait and see for me what they look like. Ultimately, a loaded Big 12 where BYU spending. You've got Utah now jumping in the boat with an NBA coach. They'll start spending. Arizona
Baylor.
obviously spending. Baylor, Texas Tech.
Kentucky
what's
spent
BYU's
like $20 million
ceiling this year? I mean,
they could go to the Final Four,
You think so?
100%.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I mean,
they've
yeah.
never been to the Final
Who?
Four at BYU.
Oh,
yeah, they've never been to the Final Four. They're like Tennessee. I think Tennessee and BYU both are definitely going to be hunting for their first one this season. I'm really, really bullish on BYU. I think they're going to have a good team.
I like it. Final one. Buy or sell. Vols land Savion Hyder and Tristan Keys to secure their first top 5 class in the Heupel era. Buy or sell, Ethan?
I'm going to say buy.
I like it.
Just because now I'm more confident, I think, in Hyder than I am in Keys, I will say. And the only reason I say that is because Tennessee just got out of Ogden, Utah the last week, Salisi Moa. Joel Wyatt is on board now. But at the same time, I think that might kind of help with both of them because they're seeing like Heupel's winning and winning and winning. He has been since July. And I think that's going to speak to them. I think especially if Hyder jumps on board, you get another 5-star. That's just going to put more pressure on Keys, who, as everybody listening knows, and as a lot of people know, this offseason has generated a lot of buzz as an LSU commit, thinking about a potential flip there. And I think Miami's kind of calling a little bit as well. So we'll see on Keys. But I'm really liking the prospect that Hyder's going to end up as a Vol.
Okay. We're up against the buzzer. What do we got, Jay?
I'm going to say sell. I do think we do get Hyder.
Okay.
I just don't think we get Keys.
Okay. Garrett?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't think they're going to flip Keys. I don't think anyone's flipping Keys. I think he's staying at LSU.
And I'm okay with that. Like, you don't have any ready. It's kind of wild that Tennessee, they have a top 10 class right now, depending on who you look at, but they don't have a tight end or a running back as of yet.
To me, like, the thing with him is, like, and I understand, like, he's a great wide receiver and everything, but, like, I just don't think we've seen, like, the freshmen here so far, like, in the system, they're not going to get immediate playing time like that, most likely. So,
I mean, I also don't, if I have a choice now that Mo is in the boat, I want 3 receivers and a big time transfer receiver.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather use that money.
Go with the transfer as well. I mean, that's in the way of college football. I mean, heck, that's almost the better option to go with.
Well, I think you want to build, and your primary deal needs to be high school recruiting, but you need to supplement in the portal. And to me, I'm like, you have enough talented young wide receivers now. Like, you need to supplement with a big addition. I'd rather use Tristan Keys' money to a transfer portal ready to plug and play guy.
Which is what we should have done in the offseason.
That is correct. But Tennessee fans are upset this week. It's been one of those where it's been like, we'll continue the conversation here in this regard, but it is interesting that it's just the reality. It's like you're down to 5 this week, and that's just, you're thin, and there's no way around it, and we have to talk about it because it's a huge story, and I understand it's annoying. If you're a Vol fan, you're like, let's just let it play out, and like you want the optimism going into the year, but like you could still be optimistic and still be like, look, this is the reality, and I have real concerns about what they're going to look like numbers-wise. There's not really a way to fix it here on August 7th. So when we come back, we'll kick off hour number 2 with G6 Garrett, talking about Hawaii and those Rainbow Warriors as we continue our G5 summer preview series. We'll also talk about college football. Do we want to see a red zone? Would you watch a college football red zone type deal on Saturdays with the ESPN NFL media merger and all that good stuff? So stick with us. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. Fan Run Radio.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What's the difference between an ordinary EV and a Mercedes-Benz EV? The feeling. Electric is what gets you there. Mercedes-Benz is what moves you in ways no other automaker can. Feel the freedom of the superbly versatile 7-seater EQB. Revel in the inspired, customizable comfort of the EQE sedan. Sense the brilliant intelligence of the EQE SUV. Discover the boundless capability of the EQS SUV. And luxuriate in the flagship meets spaceship magnificence of the EQS sedan. Every Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle offers the very latest AI software, as well as remote access to a whole host of functions via the Mercedes Me Connect app. The vehicle's electric, the feeling all Mercedes, the choice all yours. Test drive a Mercedes-Benz electric today at your local dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey Knoxville, Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's the Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. Call us, text us at 865-966-3435 is the way to be a part of this program. 1 to 3, Monday through Friday, 865-966-3435 is the way to jump in here on this Thursday in hour number 2 with Ethan Stone of SaturdayDownSouth.com in studio, as he is every Thursday afternoon. But before we continue our college football Tennessee Vols talk, we got to check in with G6 Garrett on those Hawaii Rainbow Warriors who are near and dear to my heart. Grew up with Colt Brennan and company, grew up with Timmy Chang, grew up with June Jones, Devon Bess, like all kinds of great Hawaii Rainbow Warriors back in the day. Colt Brennan still the coolest college quarterback in my opinion, all across my lifetime. But
those jerseys and the smoke visor,
yes,
elite combo.
An elite combo, and hopefully things are trending in the right direction. But what say you, Garrett Armbrust? Is Timmy Chang going to be able to turn this thing around for Hawaii?
I like Hawaii this year, and that's the first time that I think a lot of people are hyping up Hawaii over the offseason in a handful of years. And I think it's pretty obvious when Hawaii's good, that makes college football better. I don't think I've ever met a soul that doesn't like Hawaii football. I think it's just a universal thing that everyone enjoys watching. But yeah, I mean, the past couple of years, they've kind of had one side of the ball not be great. Offense over the past couple of years has been pretty good. Braden Shager was a pretty good QB1 there for the past couple of years. He's now on to professional football, and Mike Alhado is going to be the new QB1 this year. Bishop Gorman guy from Las Vegas, highly touted prospect.
True freshman, right?
He was a freshman last season.
Okay.
He was his QB2, didn't really play until the end of the season, played great in the final game. Threw for, I think, 400-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, didn't throw any interceptions. Born in Hawaii, Honolulu kid, so elected to stay at Hawaii. Probably could have gone to a bigger school, but decided to stay. And then, I mean, he brings back a good running back in Landon Sims. He had 350 rushing yards last year, 5 yards per carry. He'll be getting more active this year. And then they really bring back one of the best wide receiver duos in the group of 5. They have Nick Senecal, who had 721 receiving yards, 6 TDs last year, and Pafel Ashlock, who had 629 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. And I did a college fantasy football draft, I guess it was on Sunday, with some guys that are, college football sickos like me. And obviously you get points for, based on receptions and whatnot. And you can pick group of 5 guys just like a power 4 guy. Like, it doesn't matter who they play. Like, you're getting points. And both those guys are off the board by like the 5th or 6th round. So a lot of people are high on them. They bring in some defensive talent. They bring in Luther McCoy from Minnesota on the D-line. They bring in Tim Mallow, who's a standout safety at Brown up in the Ivy League. And then they returned some guys. They returned Elijah Palmer, who was pretty good in the secondary last year. Verdell Edwards, who was good in the secondary last year. Jaheim Wilson-Jones, he was a good corner. Their secondary looks pretty good. Jaheim Otis and Jalen Smith, 2 very good linebackers last season, as well as Logan Taylor. So that's looking like a very solid linebacker room. And then up front, they bring back Elijah Robinson, who had 37 solo tackles and 5 sacks last year. So their defense this year looks a lot better. They play a little bit of an interesting non-conference schedule. They start their season against Stanford in Hawaii. This is one of the biggest line movements in the history of Group of 5 football. They started as, I believe, a 6 to 8 point underdog. They're now a 1.5 point favorite. So the line has switched over 7 points in the past month. Stanford, obviously not going to be very good this year. Hawaii, a lot of excitement. So I think the Rainbow Warriors will get that one done. Then they play Arizona, another team that's probably not going to be particularly great this season. Then they play Sam Houston State, Portland State, Fresno State, Air Force, Utah State, Colorado State, San Jose State, San Diego State, UNLV, and Wyoming. They do miss Boise State. They do not miss San Jose State, UNLV, Air Force, and Colorado State, who are probably going to be the next 4 teams in the conference. I'm pretty high on Hawaii, though. I think they could go around maybe a game over 500 in Mountain West play, win a game in the non-conference. I legitimately think they could be a 7-5, 8-4 squad this year if the defense pans out.
It's a big bump because I think Timmy Chang has to at least go bowling to keep his job, right?
Yeah, I think they'll definitely make a bowl game. I really do think they'll make a bowl game this year. I think they have a tough schedule, but I think talent-wise, they're probably 4th best team in the Mountain West. Boise, obviously, even though what they return, they bring back a lot, and the guys that they lost, they just reloaded. And then UNLV, there's just a lot of uncertainties. They brought in, I believe, 2nd or 3rd most portal guys of any class in the country this year, obviously with Mullen being there now. But there's a lot of uncertainties in that conference, but a lot of people are high on that Michael Hotto kid. And I watched his film against a game against New Mexico, and he was torching their defense. And he's a young guy, and I think he's going to bring some swagger back to Hawaii.
There you go. I love it. We'll see what happens ultimately with Hawaii, but like you said, it's nice. Boise and Hawaii late on a Saturday night. It's just nice.
That's a shame that they don't play Boise State.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
You want that like midnight kickoff when they're playing. Yeah.
Well, also thinking about it, hold on, they're going to, I guess, Hawaii. Why we need to get them in the Pac-12? Like, get them in because Boise's moving to the Pac-12.
Yeah,
this is a way to do it. I mean,
Mountain West Conference.
You got to preserve the Hawaii Fresno State rivalry.
This is the way to do it, Hawaii.
Yeah, in the new Mountain West, with Northern Illinois.
Northern. When I think Mountain West Conference, when I think Mountain West football, I think of Northern Illinois.
When the Big West had football, Northern Illinois was in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say
really.
They're adding. That's actually kind of cool. They're adding UTEP, and when I think of Mountain West, UTEP. I know they haven't been in the Mountain West, but when you think of the Sun Bowl Stadium, it's pretty Mountain Westy.
It's like on the New Mexico border.
Is this tongue in cheek, or does it really actually feel Westy?
It's in El Paso, Texas. I'd say it feels pretty Westy.
It's in the desert.
Yeah.
Have you never seen their stadium?
No.
Look it up. It's one. I mean,
It's awesome.
It literally might be my favorite stadium in the country.
Really?
It's awesome.
You wouldn't think like
You
El
can
Paso
see-
has mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
It does.
It's like
Yeah,
carved into a cave.
This
People-
is very mountainy.
people
Okay,
park
I'm on
in,
board.
like,
pretty
caves.
sweet.
Yeah, the parking's like in caves, and then the lights. Like if you're sitting in the stadium, the lights you can see in the distance are Mexico. So
Okay.
you see a different country from the stadium.
I will say Montana State has always been my favorite. I don't know if y'all have seen what Montana
Yeah.
State's stadium with the glacier
Yeah,
behind it.
Montana and Montana State both.
Yeah. That's another one.
FCS has got some good stadiums. The Kibby Dome.
The Kibby Dome is
Everyone's
Yeah.
gotta love the Kibby Dome.
They've been up and down. They've been FBS, FCS. They go back and forth. It
They're-
seems like
They were the last team to get relegated, right?
Yeah,
seems like
they
it.
voluntarily did it too.
It seems like our friends over at Louisiana Monroe might unfortunately be on their way to that as well.
Did they win an FCS title? Yale Monroe way back in the day.
Probably did, but when your head coach is serving as your athletic department AD, that's not
No.
good right now.
You think
Shout out
UMass
to
would
him
get
for doing it, but
relegated?
what do you say?
UMass.
No, they just joined the MAC this year.
Yeah,
That is true.
They were in FCS, but I guess
No,
you know
they
who-
were independent.
They were
Yeah.
great in the FCS.
No, I'm saying they were
Oh,
good in the
yeah.
FCS because I think what's his name?
Victor Cruz.
No. Who was it in the '90s? Who was their coach? Mark Whipple. Was it Whipple at UMass? Who was the OC for A Cup of Coffee with Kenny Pickett, and he was the architect behind that great Pitt season.
Could have been, yeah.
And I think he was a longtime UMass guy. And I want to say, did they win a national title at FCS? They went.
I
They
think
went on a
they
run.
did.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of teams that have had success. Like Georgia Southern had great success, moved up. Like,
That's how they became a brand, and that's
Yeah.
one of those things where I always
Yeah,
kind of
Paul
wonder. I'm like,
Johnson.
do y'all really enjoy being in FBS, or would you rather just dominate in the
I
FCS?
mean, I think getting your games nationally televised is a perk. I mean,
But as a fan, isn't it more fun to win? Like, I feel like if you talk to Georgia Southern alums, they're like, it's a lot more fun when we were kicking everybody's tail in FCS and we were winning
but, I mean,
national
there
titles.
becomes a point. Like, I feel like if you're in the Sun Belt, that's going to be more fun than.
Well, I think the way around this is the G5 playoff, which is something I don't know where y'all feel, but I would do as we go.
I would love one, but I still think one team deserves to be in the real college football playoff because at that point they're not playing for any. Like at that point, what are they playing for?
I mean, they're not playing for anything now.
They're still playing.
I mean, they're not winning 4 consecutive.
Oh, I know they're not, but that's still their goal.
But I mean, you can't. It's one of those where it's like they're not really.
Yeah, but
playing
if you
for it.
make a tournament, then it's like it's basically just a participation award. It's like, sorry guys, like you're never gonna do it. Which
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean, I
saying
look
they
at
are,
it as
but-
like high school, where you have 6A, 5A, 4A football, and it's like that's how I would do it. Is like
Yeah.
you have.
I don't know. I mean, that's what the FCS does. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all FBS teams. Like they all have funding, all 136 of them. Like they're playing for the same. They're all bowl teams. Like
Yeah.
that would get rid of bowl season at that point.
Well, I would get rid of bowl season now too.
Oh, come on.
I kind of agree.
This is
with
hurting
Chase
Garrett's
here on
feelings.
this.
Yeah.
It's
I
sad.
kinda-
It's a sad thing to get
Yeah,
rid of.
bowl
But at
season
this
has
point,
died.
yeah,
Like-
it's dead.
Yeah, it's done.
I grew up on my dad and my brother and I. We would get we'd print out the bowl season.
I still do that.
It's just why there's
Because
so many.
it's college football in late December. What
But I
else
mean,
is
it's
there
not
to
real.
watch?
They're practices. They're not real.
I don't care. It's still live college football.
I
on
mean,
my
I don't disagree,
screen.
but I'm saying they don't mean the same. And you're not getting the starters. You're not getting.
You don't like watching the Scooters Frisco Bowl on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from Fort Worth, Texas?
No.
Okay.
I did back in the day though. Like when
Georgia
guys
Tech
were
and Washington
playing,
State.
when everyone was playing, when there weren't opt outs and it wasn't an audition for the next season. Yes, but
I mean, that's
now-
just the way college football.
but
goes.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not happy with where things have gone, but it's just the way it is.
I don't know.
I'm bumming Garrett out.
I just would keep the tradition of college football alive. I mean, bowl season is awesome in my opinion.
I mean, I don't. It's okay, Garrett. I'm not taking it. It's not having. You're still going to get bowl season this year. I'm concerned you think that I have the power to strip bowl season from college football this year. I don't. I promise. You'll be able to watch that this fall, this
Yeah.
winter, I should say.
Yeah, you're not the commissioner. Maybe
No.
one day though.
Yeah.
I would love to be commissioner.
Would you ban bowl or would you get rid of bowl games if you became the commissioner?
Yes, 100%.
Would you get rid of them or try it and put a conceded effort to making them better?
I would either strip the playoff and we're going straight BCS all over again, or we're going straight playoff and we're getting rid of all the bowl games.
Okay.
Well,
You need to do one or the other. We're in
if
this
you did
weird middle
BCS,
ground.
though, which I love BCS.
Yeah.
I kind of want but then at that point, if you don't play in the national title, no one is playing in a bowl game. So
Right.
then it almost makes more. Then I would kind of be on board.
Yeah,
maybe.
bowls would matter more when they're just two teams competing for national championship.
I don't know. Would y'all want to see college football red zone? Because I I'll go ahead and say, maybe this is a weird thing for me. I'm not an NFL red zone guy. Especially the Falcons play at 1:00 pretty consistently. I'm locked in on the Falcons for 3.5 hours. Like that's just kind of where my brain. And I know it's interesting to me. There's so many people who are fans of certain, like you're a Bears fan, Ethan, where it's like I know Bear fans who have the Bears on one TV by themselves and then NFL Red Zone on the other, where they're able to. And I'm like, are you really able to stay locked in on what's happening? Because I'm an ADD guy. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to focus on that. Like, I wish I could be a quad box person. I understand the value. I wish I could be a red zone person. But to me, it's just like, it's an overwhelming type of deal. And I understand I'm in the norm there. Are you the same, or would a college football red zone on Saturdays be something you're like, oh, this I like this. I'm locked in.
So I actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm a Bears fan. I don't watch NFL Red Zone. Like
I thought you were going to say because I'm a Bear fan. I actually don't watch the Bears.
Oh. No, I watch the Bears. That's the problem. But I'm locked into the Bears, so I don't really ever turn Red Zone on. And this is usually how this goes. The Bears start at 1:00. Mm-hmm. The Bears lose in terrible fashion, and I don't want to watch football for the rest of the day, so I don't watch Red Zone.
Okay.
Now, college football, I would watch it, like, because I enjoy college football as a sport more than the NFL, but I like the Bears more than I enjoy watching the Vols, if that makes sense. Like I am locked in on the Chicago Bears, so there's just no reason for me to be into NFL Red Zone. Okay. There is a lot of reason for me to be into a college football, just because I'm like Garrett. I love college football. I love watching as much as I can, even when Tennessee is over with, whether they win or lose, just because it's an awesome sport.
I would like it on the games, the G5, the bye games for Tennessee. Like I'd be locked in there because I'm still going to watch every snap for every Tennessee football game. But I would have college football red zone on during Tennessee ETSU. Where like, yeah, I'm watching snaps, but like unless it gets a little dicey, like in Austin P Tennessee a couple years ago, like I want to have some other stuff going on the other screen.
Yeah, if the Titans are on, I don't watch any other games. I am locked in to the Titans whenever they play.
Okay,
but if they're on a bye week or if they're playing primetime, which never happens anymore, that's when I turn on Red Zone. I always do it for either the later games or if the Titans don't have a noon game. That's always my second option. Titans are always my first, though. And whenever the Titans play, they are completely on my TV. But a college football Red Zone would be incredible. But I feel like you would have to do it as a Power 4 Red Zone and a G5 Red Zone, I think.
Well, we know where Garrett's going on that.
Yeah.
Like, we know where Garrett's going.
Well, I mean, I watch Power 4 games on Saturday. Like, I'm not sitting there watching. Like, I hope you know I'm not sitting there at a tailgate. Like, I'm keeping up with the scores, and I am watching. I quad box at 2 TVs at once.
Yeah.
So, technically, I'm already college football red zoning.
You're like, Bronco Mendenhall's got the Lobos on the move.
But you what?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to know what I want a Red Zone for?
Mm-hmm.
Champ Week for basketball. That would be incredible.
Okay.
Like mid-major madness. That would be the coolest thing ever.
Well, it sounds like Roger Goodell has the power to do it now.
Yeah.
Here's my thing on it.
The fact that he threw it out and he kind of like hinted at, it feels like that's where things are headed.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing on it. So I'm not like that massive of an NFL fan. Like I like the NFL, like it's fine. I don't really have a team. Like I grew up loosely as a Falcons fan, but like I live and die by their wins and losses. Like I'm much more of a college football guy. And so I'll watch Red Zone because my roommates have it. And again, like I don't really care about the Falcons that much. So if they're on, like I'll watch the other games. Like I don't really care. The thing about Red Zone, what makes Red Zone so good is Red Zone is the only way that you can acquire all of the games because like the NFL, you just get your regionally broadcasted game. You get the Titans game and you get like the NFC South game in the afternoon, and then you get like the Chiefs in the afternoon, and then you get your night game. Red Zone, you can watch all of the games no matter where you are in the country. College football, you can do that either way. Like there's channels like you can basically just Red Zone by doing your YouTube TV quad box. And I also don't know how it would work with the TV rights because you have ACC football on the CW network. You have Mountain West on TNT. You have CBS, Fox, ESPN. Like I don't know how all the like brands would come together and that would work.
Maybe
those would just be ESPN though. That's the thing.
Well, ESPN, ABC. I mean, it might be a bundle.
If you just did ESPN, then you miss Big Noon Kickoff. Then you
Right.
miss CBS Big Ten game. Like, you would miss a lot of big games.
You're probably not getting Fox.
See, like
you wouldn't get Big Ten games.
Like
if
Penn
that-
State, Ohio State is supposed to be a noon game. Like it would kind of kill the point if you're watching a college football red zone and it's only ESPN and then you can't watch Penn State and Ohio State. Like, that's the game of the day.
The problem is that the Big Ten would completely have to be discarded because ESPN does not have the rights to them.
Well, it would be one of those things where, again, if we get to collective bargaining and we get to a point where we're all under one roof, whether that's Power 2, whatever, you bring Fox and ESPN to the table and you're like, hey, we have this red zone thing. Let's come to some kind of, if it's going to, because people will come to the table if it makes money. If they're like, hey, this is a great thing for both of us.
I guess they do CBS and Fox for NFL red zone. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Poor
I think it's a good
CBS,
idea,
man.
but I just don't.
Speaking
College
of, are we
football,
getting a new theme song this year for ABC, or are they running back that same nonsense they did last year?
No, I think they have a new one this
Well,
year.
I mean the jingle, not the actual ones with words. That's who cares. But
bring back the one from like the early 2000s, the BCS ones.
I like the drumline one on ESPN
Yeah.
night with not Dan Patrick, Mike Patrick and Todd
I
Blackledge.
don't think Dan Patrick was announcing.
No, Todd Patrick and Todd Blackledge and Mike Patrick. But yeah, those were great. Like nothing gets you in the mood for Auburn, Mississippi State. Yeah.
With like the chimes.
Yes.
The song with the chime. Yeah, that one was amazing.
I'll tell you what they should do. They should do squeeze play like every Friday night during the college baseball season. I would be all in for that.
Squeeze play, it should be a regular.
But see,
season
like that works because they're all on ESPN Plus.
True.
Like nothing else covers college baseball other than ESPN, so they have no problem doing that.
It's true. When we come back, we'll continue on here with our Tennessee talk. We'll talk about Darlington Dubar, his one season at Tennessee. What did Ethan Stone see from him? What went right? What went wrong? Favorite D-Stone game? And then if we can only pick one game day, college game day coming to Tennessee game this fall, which one is it? We'll continue the conversation with Ethan Stone of Saturday Down South in studio with us on a Thursday. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Sports Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
For the fans, by the fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood, but did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game. Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Citizens National Bank.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the CNB Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at CNB has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food and not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 15% off with promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Video app. Outcast twice here today. Garrett Armbrust.
Got to rep the ATL roots.
Yeah. 2 ATLians here.
We are ATLians.
I'm glad to see more Outcast for the songs.
Yeah, you weren't happy when I started adding some other songs in the mix here. Jay, motion denied from Jay on the other side of the glass on mixing things up a little bit.
At Rock Solid Sports, we always started the show with Miss Jackson.
Interesting. Okay.
If you're under the age of like 40, everyone likes Outkast.
Yeah.
They're a universal high approval rating.
Everyone likes them. No real controversies, just good music.
I went to their last concert ever together.
Really?
Wow. At last in Piedmont Park, downtown.
What year is this?
2015, 14.
Okay. So you're more like our age when you went.
Thank you, Garrett.
Nah,
yes. Back in those times, yeah. I was probably 23, 24.
I've heard those concerts there are pretty sweet at Piedmont Park. Like they do that festival there every year that's supposed to be.
Oh, Sweetwater 420 Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look it up though when that was. Outlast.
Is that where they do Music Midtown?
No. Music Midtown's at Piedmont.
And where'd you say the Outkast one was?
Oh, Centennial.
Oh, okay.
Centennial Olympic. Yeah.
Okay.
2014. So yeah. 2014.
That's pretty cool.
11 years ago,
they were a force for 15 years. Probably more than that, honestly.
Yeah. It
20?
was
yeah.
It was a big deal. It was gigantic. Like it was that was a fun time. Took Marta over there, all that, but it was packed.
Biggest group I'd say from Atlanta.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Ever.
Yeah.
And they came on last, and I still have a vivid memory where the lights go down, and everyone's been waiting all day long for Outkast to start playing. And it was one of those deals where the guy I went with was huge Outkast fan, and he got the tickets and all that, and I went with him and all that. And it went dark, and then Bombs Over Baghdad, the beat drops, and then the lights, like it's laser show, and they just come storming out. It was, I mean, Jalen Wright, with how loud it was when Jalen Wright had that 73-yard touchdown run against Georgia on the first play from scrimmage against the Dawgs in 23 was pretty loud. This one, not quite as loud, but it was loud, man. It was a loud response.
Did they have good like openers for him, or was it kind of just them and that was it?
Man, it was so many people. Pastor Troy was there. Oh man, who else was there? He's the one I remember off the top of my head. I'd have to really think back. It's been a while. Childish Gambino, maybe he was there.
Before he was big, right?
Yeah. It was a ways ago, but it was all Atlanta people. So I think it was like a lot of Atlanta folks. But I have to really think about it.
No Migos.
This is like before Migos.
They weren't a thing in 2014.
Not really. I don't think.
I think they were a little later in the team.
Maybe they were like 2016, 2017. Yeah.
Young Thug was still early on. I mean, Migos.
Future was definitely
absolutely there. Yeah. Travis Porter was big around that time.
Yeah.
We're really going down the rabbit hole here of old Atlanta music. Shoddy Low.
You got a beat from him on here, don't you?
I don't think so.
No, I thought you did.
Bubba Sparks, LaGrange, Georgia's own.
I've heard the name.
Back in the Mud from that elite Madden 2004 soundtrack. Did y'all ever play Madden 2004 with Mike Vick on the cover?
That's my favorite Madden of all time.
See? It's a great Madden.
Never played it, but
it was a great
I heard
Madden.
good things from right now.
Michael Vick was actually broken in that game. Like it's not even like a really good video game. Like he was that's probably the best video game athlete of all
Michael
time.
Vick
Him and Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Prime of
Hold
his
on.
career.
This is all very disrespectful to Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball,
That's
who was a home run and will always be a home run machine for my melon heads.
He was an automatic.
He's
ad
a
every
problem.
time.
Pablo
Every time.
Sanchez walking up to the dish, just a totally different animal. Two-way star, could pitch, hit dingers all the time.
He had it all.
John Dowd, MVP
Complete
baseball
player.
2005.
Who?
John Dowd.
Who's that?
It's Barry Bonds, but he wasn't in the Players Union.
Oh,
So they had to make a generic guy named John Dowd, and he was absolutely broken in that game. Too.
Wasn't it NFL 2K25 or is it Madden where Bill Belichick is never in it, and they always have somebody else in there for Belichick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the new NCAA game, he's not in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. As we continue on here, the player review series, Ethan Stone, Darlington Dubar comes in from Hofstra as a grad transfer. What went right for him as a stretch four for Tennessee? Ultimately, where did he grow from what you saw early on at the beginning of the season towards the end? Where did he not flourish that you thought he might have? What was your favorite D Stone game as a whole last season?
I'm going to start with the game because I feel like it kind of ties into how he grew as a player because D Stone in general, I thought he was a bit of a strange addition in the offseason when Tennessee got him. I just didn't quite know where he fit with Igor on the floor and what he brought from Charlotte with Chaz and how good of a shooter he was. And the thing that is a little strange about Dubarge, he shot 40% at Hofstra before he came to Tennessee. So you think he'll be able to knock down a few shots and kind of fill in that role. And that just never quite happened with D Stone. He shot at 25% on 63 attempts on the season. Got better as the season went along, but it still wasn't to a level that Barnes was able to give him the green light necessarily or even kind of play him enough on the offensive end. It just didn't quite translate from Hofstra over to Tennessee. And still, all that said, I mean, D Stone, the one thing I think of when I think about him is one word I think of is resilience. I mean, the guy was as resilient as they come. Obviously, when he gets to Tennessee, he had a couple personal tragedies that struck him and his family. Kind of had to fight his way through that. Didn't play too much early in the season, and then even still, despite all that hardship, despite struggling to start the year, he kind of at the end of the season worked his way into a legitimately important role. I mean, he was playing about 7 to 10 minutes a game. It wasn't anything crazy, but when he would come off the bench in certain games, he was very important and provided a legitimate spark. And that's where I'll give you my favorite D Stone game, which is Auburn. He very quietly scored 6 points in a 5-point win against a very, very good Auburn team. And then a few weeks later in the SEC tournament, he scored 5 points and that went over Kentucky in the Sweet 16. He had the 3-pointer and then a few minutes later, the chase down block. And so D Stone, I feel like his Tennessee career in general or his year on Rocky Top was kind of defined by plays like that he gave the team a little bit of a spark that they needed, I guess, because in that Auburn game, he also had I believe a time where he went up, he scored, Tennessee took the lead, and then I don't believe they ever trailed again the rest of the game. Now, obviously Tennessee played a lot of games, so they're kind of blended together a little bit, but he always seemed to have that moment, especially later in the season, where he'd come on, have a just huge momentum play, and then he'd go back to the bench and just kind of do that. Like, that's all Tennessee needed from him, but he played that role perfectly, and you can tell that he was still happy doing it, I guess. Like, he wasn't a guy that was going to complain about not playing 20 minutes a game coming over from Hofstra after playing very, very well there for 4 years. And then he was just kind of accepted when things didn't exactly go his way, accepted and gelled into his role perfectly. And I think a lot of people are going to look back on his time, even though he didn't have the most elite career at Tennessee, he didn't have a Chaz Lanier transfer story, but he still left his mark when it came down to it.
Yeah, and the thing too, I mean, Texas comes to mind. Like, he was really good in Austin in that
points.
game. Yeah, and hit some huge shots for Tennessee and was crucial. And that was like, our group chat was in shambles after that game because I was like, he's got to play more. Like, D Stone, he's gotten acclimated. He's someone who needs more consistent time to build confidence. And that's the thing about D Stone and Igor, I think, in combination here over the last 2 weeks, is that I think if before the year you had told you and I that Tennessee would have an up and down season from both D-Stone and Igor, I don't think we would have expected that last year. And I thought one of them would have settled in as a consistent stretch four for Tennessee and Rick Barnes. And it just didn't happen. It's kind of like that whole thing where you're like, man, one more year of Igor this year. And like, we'll see what Jalen Carey ultimately looks like. But if you had one more year of Igor and or one more year of D-Stone in this system and just just another offseason where he's more comfortable with Barnes and company, like, I don't know. I think he's someone who could have had a nice little final upswing, like that Dante Thornton, like the year 2 bump where D-Stone just being more confident, being more comfortable, because he could shoot, like you said, 40% 3-point shooter at Hofstra. It just never felt like he was able to get that consistent role and have that trust from Barnes and the staff to really carve out a niche and be a corner 3-point shooter and be that catch and shoot guy that Tennessee needed in the half court a lot.
Yeah, and I think there was kind of a couple reasons for that. I think, like I said earlier, like there was just, I feel like the fit was a little strange for this particular season. And I wholeheartedly agree with you that D-Stone one more season, I think he'd be a different player if he were playing this season, for example. If he were to carve out a role and, like you say, get more confidence, especially on the offensive end, to a point where, he showed it in flashes last year. Especially against Auburn, he caught a rebound, bullied his way into the paint, and then put it up. And it's like, he can do that. He's got the strength. He has the SEC body. He has the accolades. It's just a confidence thing. It's just a matter of getting reps under his belt because, look, he played at Hofstra. He played at a much, much lower conference than, the premier conference in college basketball. So making that jump is going to be tough. And it's like a quarterback getting his second start in the SEC, his second season in the SEC, learning the system. You just have more under your belt. You know more about the game. You know more about your system. You know more about your opponents. You know more about what is expected of you and how you have to play to get to a point where, it's acceptable, and to a point where Barnes will say, okay, I'm going to put you in the 8-man, the 9-man rotation. And he just didn't quite have time, I don't think, to put that all together with the guys that were already on the team, the ones that had already fit together and were playing at such a high level to get Tennessee to the Elite 8 last season.
He was honestly probably the most athletic guy on the team.
Yeah.
I always really liked him. He's one of those guys where, sometimes that works when you go out and get a guy like that from a smaller conference. Sometimes it doesn't. You go from the best player on your team to not really seeing the floor as much. As you said, he gave us a lot of good minutes. I don't think, and like you said, he had a lot of stuff that went on in his personal life that I'm sure affected. It was just kind of one of those things where it was like the first minute or so that you came out, you could tell if it was going to be a good game or not. To me, like he would either kind of, miss his first couple shots and you were like, they need to take him out, or he'd come in and kind of, assert himself. And you were like, all right, this is, he looks like he's going to be pretty good. But I should know this. Did he sign anywhere to play, like overseas or anything? Like, did he get an opportunity somewhere?
Not that I know of,
Yeah.
but I will admit I haven't followed up too well on it.
Nothing is coming up. I hadn't seen anything either.
Yeah, the last thing I had heard from Dubar is that he entered the transfer portal hoping to find another year of eligibility, and I don't believe he ever did.
So, No Ceilings, who does a great job covering college basketball and NBA draft, they had an article September 20th, 2024 by Jameel Hines from Sleeper to Breakout 2024, Donaldson Dubar. And the headline there, the transfer wing is ready to wake up the SEC and entrench himself on NBA draft radars. Like, Dubar had that kind of big time upside.
He still is some guy that maybe he could go to Europe and maybe G League gives him a chance. And he may never make the NBA, but he could be a guy that's, maybe just plays in the G League for, a handful of years and or stays in Europe. He's good enough to play somewhere.
Yeah.
He's.
I wish we just got one more year of him here.
Yeah.
I think a year or two full offseason. I think he would have had
especially in a better headspace.
Would have been fantastic if he could have drafted his junior year rather than his senior, for sure.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll wrap up here this hour number 2 right here on The Chase with Ethan Stone of SaturdayDownSouth.com in studio with us on a Thursday right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, She wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Men's Pro Knoxville, but he's too scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Got you, Mike. It's Nephew Tommy. Ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Men's Pro Knoxville is the real deal, fellas. Local experts, test results in minutes. Call 865-544-8220 or hit menspronknoxville.com before your lady books a new co-star. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Yo, 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 what is up with it, homies? Talk sports, that's the show you want. It's the longest running sports radio morning show in town. You want your radio shows to be fun, and that's what Talk Sports is. Fun, fun, fun. No weirdo callers. I think Tennessee gonna go 6-6 this year. No nerdy guests. Well, their receiver depth is a little bit thin. Just two of the most entertaining guys in town, and Bubba giving you what you need. Tune in 7 to 10 a.m. every weekday here on Fan Run Radio.
This is Coach Josh Heupel. In football and life, you need a solid defense to protect what matters most. That's where Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee comes in. Score peace of mind with Farm Bureau Insurance, the official insurance of the Vols. They're your line of defense. FBITN.com.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance of the Tennessee Vols. I'm here to be that line of defense for all your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871 and go Vols.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco, and I'm proud to join the team here at Knoxville Smiles, where we're leading the way in comfortable, modern dentistry. Many people are anxious about going to the dentist. Here at Knoxville Smiles, our team works hard to make the experience as comfortable as possible. We offer everything from warm blankets to sedation dentistry to help you relax and make your visit as enjoyable as possible. So if it's been a while since you've been to the dentist, give us a call at 865-539-1776 to experience a dental visit that will make you smile.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
It's a chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. Wrapping up here, hour number 2, The Drive with Russell and the Bear, coming up here at 3 o'clock. So make sure you stick around for that, 3 to 6. Russell and the Bear will take you home on your drive time home. And Ethan Stone of Saturday Down South in studio as we wrap up here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ethan, one of the things that I think is pretty interesting when it comes to the football versus basketball side of things of the SEC is that Texas was ready for SEC football. Oklahoma, we'll see in year 2. Maybe they're more ready in 2025 with Mateer and company than they were in 24. We'll see. They're taking it seriously there, though. They're trying. Basketball, Porter Moser has not gone well. That was a kind of celebrated hire, and Oklahoma sneaky has had just a lot of great NBA players, obviously with my Trae Young, and then you have Blake Griffin. Like, they've produced some real big-time, multi-time NBA All-Stars. It's been a historically pretty solid program. Not an elite program, but solid. Texas, obviously, has been there. They hire Sean Miller from Xavier, who was obviously a longtime Arizona guy, has won a lot of college basketball games over the course of his career, kind of settles things down, post Rodney Terry, Chris Beard era, and this is kind of a page turner, and you could see how it could ultimately work. But in your estimation, in 2025 at least, Trey Johnson out, who was really good for the Horns and was a problem for Tennessee in that game. He's just a cool.
He Dalton connected us.
He really did, but he hits cool shots. Like Trey Johnson is so smooth offensively.
To watch a lot.
Yeah, and I think Wizards fans are going to really like him. Yeah. I know they really wanted Ace Bailey because it's like, oh, that was the rumor, but I'm like, Trey Johnson, I think is going to be a good player. There's some Devin Booker to him where I think he's going to be a bucket at the next level, and he was a bucket at Texas. But you look at Texas or Oklahoma, who is better equipped to have an SEC hoops bounce back year, Ethan Stone, in 2025?
Yeah, I think it's Texas, and it's funny you say that to start that off, because in a lot of ways, I think Texas and Oklahoma last year were identical teams. It's very strange. They both come to the SEC. They had similar records. They were both led by freshman guards that went in the lottery, that went top 10. Yeah. Were both explosive, very fun, and they lose both of those guys, right? Like Jeremiah Fears is off to the NBA, Trey Johnson, like we just said, off to the NBA, and it's a bit of a weird step back, I feel like, for both of them this season, because Texas has a lot of the same players. Oklahoma's kind of starting over in a lot of ways. They have some guys they're going to be moving up into new roles this season that could work, could not work. There's just no way to really tell right now. Now, I think Oklahoma has a chance to have a better starting five than Texas, but I would buy stock in the Longhorns being a better team overall. I think they're a better put together program. I like Sean Miller, like you just said, coming out of Xavier, and he brought Dalen Swain, Lucina Traore with him from Xavier. I think they're both going to put together some roles for the Longhorns. Traymon Marks staying, Kendall Weaver is staying as well. They got Cam Hyde. They got a couple guys out of the transfer portal in general, and they rebuilt the team in a way that I think fits together strongly, and it's led by veteran guards, and that's always a recipe for success, especially in the SEC. Oklahoma, like I said, I think they have a chance to have a better top starting five, because Xavier Brown out of St. Joe's is going to be really good. Nigel Pack is back, a guy that Tennessee kind of looked at a couple years ago. I think that kind of fell through there, but he's a very interesting player. Him and Nigel Pack and Brown, I think, are going to be a very fun guard tandem to watch in the SEC next season. But I really, really wonder about defensively how Oklahoma's kind of going to move around in the backcourt. I think they'll put up a lot of points, but it makes me wonder if they'll be as good of a team as I think the Longhorns can be, just because, like I said, they got veteran experience. They have talent from the portal. They have people that Miller is familiar with already in Traore and Swain. And I think that's just a better bet to be more put together in what should once again be one of the best leagues in college basketball.
Yeah, Sean Miller was just kind of, it's one of those hires that it's not going to be like, oh, wow, we hired Sean Miller back. And it's just like, but I think the resources, and they just needed, the talent wasn't an issue with Rodney Terry and company. They're still accumulating 5-star guys. It was just, they just needed a solid head coach. It's just someone who's just he's going to win. Sean Miller, I just know is going to do well there. Yeah. Porter Moser, the weird part to me is it was a huge upgrade, right? Going from Loyola Chicago and that Sweet 16 final run. He went Final Four. He overachieved at Loyola Chicago, Naperville guy, but it has not gone well. I mean, he was 6-12 last year in the SEC. He's 19-16 his first year, 15-17 year 2, 20-12 in year 3, and that was in the Big 12. Now in the SEC, I mean, I just 74-59, 25-45 conference record. I mean, this is a big year 5 for him. But the weird part to me about Oklahoma is what happens. Are you really going to make a change at basketball, men's basketball and football in the same offseason if Brent Venables doesn't have a breakthrough year and Oklahoma is 5-7, whatever? Are you, and Oklahoma misses the tournament? Are you going to have the stones and then the just, I don't know, the money to be hey, boosters, we want to fix basketball, men's basketball and football at the same time? Are they going to have the stomach for it? Because it's a whole lot of money potentially there. So does Porter Moser have a little bit more time because Venables might be up in the air?
Another question is just simply, do they care? Oklahoma's kind of in a little stagnant for a while in basketball.
It's a terrible game day environment. Tennessee, when they went to Oklahoma this year, was brutal. And honestly, Texas was too. Well, Texas was terrible too.
Yeah. Texas, though, was before students came back, right? That was over
even
break.
Still, man. You can go to a Tennessee SEC game before students are back, and it's not like that.
I thought Oklahoma, I mean, yeah, that was
dreary.
And the black jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, that was the game when Chaz came out just firing, making everything.
You could hear a pin drop in that arena.
Yeah.
It's not really a cool arena.
As a Tennessee fan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really a team that you're too scared of when you see them on the schedule, unless it's like a major trap game or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see who. I think over under 1.5 between Porter Moser and Brent Venables back at Oklahoma for 2026.
I don't think Venables is going to get fired.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be his. I don't know. That's a lot to say, but I think it's probably going to be one of his better teams, just because I trust Matier and Arbuckle. Like I think they're going to.
Arbuckle's a really good OC.
I think they're going to put the offense together in a way that Venables hasn't seen. So I think I'd agree with Garrett. I think his job this year is probably safe. Now moving forward, if he just puts together 8 wins, 9 wins, that might be enough for this year. But moving forward, Oklahoma and those folks in Norman are going to want to see 10-win in national championship competition sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have to remember, he's a defensive guy, and their offense last year had one of the worst offensive lines. Their wide receiver room was banged up. Like, they had a lot of unfortunate things happen on that football team last year that probably won't happen again.
You would hope not. But if you're an Oklahoma fan and basketball season stinks, football season baseball is not going to be in the top end.
I mean, they're like, they made a super this year.
They lost Tyson Witherspoon, though.
Yeah.
Their best player.
But I mean, you're not Texas. And that's the whole thing. What Texas with Schlossnagle, and now you have Sean Miller coming in and Sark preseason #1. Like, I just don't think, Oklahoma fans stomach all this. So I'll say the under 1.5, but I don't think Porter Moser and Brent Venables are both back coaching the Sooners in 26.
Oklahoma fans, though, do you think they're more like, obviously they hate Texas. They want to be Texas. But at the same time, like, they're kind of better in every sport than Oklahoma State.
Right.
Oklahoma State baseball was decent this year. Like, that's got to be they got to at least
basketball might be coming. They're moving in the right direction, because who did they hire?
They won the NIT this year, didn't
they?
Yeah.
Like they hired, was it Stephen F. Austin's coach? I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know who they hired.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I think they had a good hire, and I forgot what his name is off the top of my head. But yeah, Oklahoma State.
But like Gundy, how much longer is he going to be coaching?
I think it's a big year for him, because they were awful last year. I mean, they went 0-8 in the Big 12.
But it's like, at the same time, you're not going to fire the face of Oklahoma State football.
If you go 1-7 in Big 12 play, I think he's out.
I don't know.
You can't go
keep going
16.
like this.
You just can't.
I feel like the game has kind of gotten past him too. Maybe
it's scary if you're Gundy or you're a Polk fan, because Utah is getting all this bounce back buzz, and they had the same kind of season from that Oklahoma State did, but everyone's buying the Utah bounce back. You're not really hearing the same belief in the bounce back.
Utah's a really good quarterback.
Yeah,
Devon Dampier.
Like Jake Retzlaff would have made a lot of sense at Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
and Kyle Whittingham in general last season went through just dreadful quarterback luck, and has been going through dreadful quarterback luck pretty much since Cam Rising.
I was gonna say, but by his own doing, because he kept bringing back Cam Rising, and he's like, this is the year Cam Rising's gonna be healthy, and it's like, you kind of played yourself. It's like Cam Rising can't stay healthy. It's just part of the deal.
He kept playing the Cam Rising game.
Oklahoma State did this with Alan Bowman. They're like, we're gonna run back year 12.
Then they
Alan
had
Bowman.
Bryson Barnes, who was not good. So,
final thing here on this Tuesday or Thursday edition of the Chase. Ireland. We have Iowa State, Kansas State. Cool new lids. We saw Kansas State drop the Irish themed helmets. Look pretty sweet, and I think it's gonna be a good uniform matchup between the Clones and the Cats over there in Ireland. But if Tennessee opened in week 0, it's an opportunity, and it has to be because you're gonna have to play a conference game, but it's not gonna count as a conference win or loss. Who is your pick? Because it's not going to be Alabama. Like, you're not moving Alabama to Ireland. Who is the one team that you would love and it would encourage you the most to be like, man, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and it's an awesome game that I actually want to see Tennessee play and conference play? Who is the travel ticket for you, Ethan Stone?
This might be a bit of a weird answer. I'm going with Ole Miss. Just have the Lane Kiffin, just have all that happening again. I think, just imagine that happening in Ireland. I don't know.
Do they have mustard in Ireland?
That's
we know they have golf balls. Well, we know those will be present, but I like Ole Miss. It's a good call.
I think Ole Miss would be a fun.
That would get rowdy though, man. You send a bunch of Ole Miss and Tennessee fans overseas, stand next to each other for a couple of days, maybe a week. Because my cousin actually went for Florida State, Georgia Tech last year, and they made a whole like big trip of it. So they were there for days.
Have to,
yeah.
go
and
over there.
you want a good game that has some of that like drama to it as well, just because like the entire point of it being over there is they're trying to grow it and get interest in other places. And Ireland seems to be, at least for what it seemed last year with Georgia Tech and Florida State, it seems to kind of be growing in that regard. So throwing some drama in there, I feel like that's the most dramatic SEC matchup Tennessee could have. Just say, Lane go out there and face Tennessee again. We saw what happened last time. So
you mean Western Michigan? Michigan's not going to provide drama to German fans?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it's going to.
So either.
No, I don't know. Jay, what's yours?
Well, the reason why I had that exact reaction is because my exact answer was Ole Miss.
Okay.
But maybe another one that I could see is also Mizzou, possibly.
I could see Mizzou. Drinkwitz overseas.
I think those are like the two teams that aren't like, we don't play them every year. I guess now that there's no divisions, we don't really play Mizzou as much as we did. I think those are the two teams, I think.
What about you, Garrett?
Odds LSU. I think it would be fun to play them over there. Those two fan bases, I think that'd be a good game. I'd like to do that.
I think the one for me, we don't play them anymore. Auburn would be cool over there. Make the travel. Like Auburn used to be a yearly rival for Tennessee. It feels like forever ago, but that was somebody Tennessee played every year. The other one is A&M. I think A&M in Ireland would be a lot of fun. That feels like a big time week 0. It doesn't even feel like a conference game because A&M still sometimes doesn't feel like an SEC team. But A&M would show out. They would bring a lot of people. Tennessee would bring a lot of people. I think A&M, Tennessee in week 0 in Ireland would probably be my number one pick.
They would definitely get a lot of fans, both fan bases.
It would be a loud atmosphere.
They would get a lot of people there.
What about quickly like non-SEC? Mine would be Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was Notre Dame.
I just think we would lose. I don't want to go over there and just get. I don't.
Like if this Tennessee team was playing Jeremiah Love and company, they'd probably get run out of
I don't want Notre Dame. I want one where I feel pretty good that we're going to win that game.
And all the Irish fans would be
Miami,
on both sides.
USC.
I could see Florida State.
Yeah.
USC Florida State would be cool. USC would be a bucket list one. You get a lot of folks to do the USC trip for sure.
Yeah.
Florida State, if you could say that they're gonna be back to like,
but I want to go to the Doak. Like I want Florida State home and home. Like I want to go to Florida State, and that's kind of like with Notre Dame. Is I don't want to play Notre Dame in Ireland. I want to go have a reason to go to South Bend.
Let's do a 3-year. We'll do Ireland home and home.
There you go.
Yeah.
We should do more of those anyway. It's like that's the way around. If you're going to do these neutral sites, then you have to have a home and home part of it. It's a 3-year
Virginia
type
Tech home and home, and then Bristol.
There you go. Dollywood.
Play to Dollywood.
Yeah, like why not?
Play in the theme park. Yep.
Fine. That would be fun. Who says no?
Under the Wild Eagle.
You have some time. It'd be great. Well, that will do it here for this Thursday edition of The Chase. Thank you for taking part here on this Thursday from 1 to 3. Thank you to Ethan Stone of Saturday Down South. Thank you to intern Jay King. Thank you to producer Garrett Armbrust. The Drive with Russell Smith and the Bear is coming up next, right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Talk. So we're back tomorrow with Jack Foster, 1 p.m. Have a wonderful afternoon, East Tennessee.
The Chase on Fox Sports Knoxville and Fan Run Radio. Heck yeah.
Congratulations. You found sports radio that doesn't suck. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most.